Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into Seri. I'm your host, Lucy.
And I'm Emily. If you're new here, welcome. We are a production team covering this year's undergraduate research conference. We have a packed show for you today. Lucy, can you tell us what's on the menu?
Today we'll be talking with student researcher Anna Burns about her upcoming research project, as well as Peyton McManus, who presented her research at last year's undergraduate research conference. Plus, look forward to a spicy Seri segment with our production crew.
That all sounds super interesting. I'm so excited. Well, let's welcome our first guest, Anna Burns.
Hi, Anna.
Hello.
Hi. So, Anna, can you give us a brief overview of your research topic?
Yeah, so I investigated representations of Osceola in poetry. Osceola was a Seminole War leader, and he was captured by the United States. He died in prison, and he became this very romantic figure for non-Native Americans. So I analyzed poetry written about the Seminole War before and after his death, and just analyzed how he was portrayed and how his portrayal impacted the image of Seminoles and other Native Americans in the United States.
That's so amazing. What began your interest in poems surrounding Osceola and the Seminole War?
Yeah, I was taking my senior literature seminar class last semester with Professor Dr. Thomas Halleck, and our focus was on Seminole War literature. And I got really interested in Osceola because we did a project on Osceola being a mascot for the Florida State University teams. And I started looking at that, and I got really interested in how he was depicted currently and then at the time. So that's where it all kind of began.
Wow, that's amazing. So why did you choose poetry opposed to other forms of art?
Okay, I have a funny answer and then I have a real answer. You want to hear both?
We'll take both, yeah.
The funny answer is that poetry is way shorter than a real novel. And the real answer is that I originally wanted to look at representations of Osceola in visual art, novels, poetry, and I handed my rough draft to Dr. Halleck, and he said, "You don't have a 10-page research paper, you have a book. So you need to whittle this down." And he recommended poetry because, first of all, it's shorter, and there's a bigger variety of it. You can look at so many different things. There's different mediums of poetry, and that really impacts the message. So poetry is just a more versatile medium, and it's shorter.
Wow, I love that. So can you tell us a little bit about your main research methods? Like, how do you go about finding these poems?
Yeah, so I owe a lot to the collection This Torn Land, which is poetry about the Second Seminole War. This was edited by John and Mary Lou Missel. This was absolutely invaluable for finding poetry. I also used the USF Libraries database for searching for Osceola poetry, which was also super helpful. And then I did need a lot of historical context, information about Osceola and the Seminole War. I used work by Mahan and Wickman. Osceola's legacy is fantastic for dispelling Osceola myths and giving a good overview of his life. And then I also relied heavily on Paul Jentz's 7 Myths About Native Americans, which was super helpful for various other parts of the paper.
That's great. And what would you say was the most difficult part of your research?
Writing. Writing was the difficult part for me. It's easier for me to research and find everything and synthesize it, but making sure that everything has a structure and that everything kind of flows together. And that I'm not just regurgitating what's already been said about the subject. That was really important to me, and so writing took a long time for me.
That's so interesting. Do you have a favorite poem that you discovered along your research journey?
Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. A lot of the poetry isn't very good. It's like, it's a little painful to read, but I do have a couple of, like, not favorites, but ones that are very interesting. Lament for Osceola by Holden was a good poem. Actually, I thought it ties Osceola's struggle for freedom to the Revolutionary War, which is kind of shocking to, like, find that and see that someone was kind of tuned into, like, the struggle for freedom being paralleled, even if the general American public wasn't really willing to accept it at the time. And then there's another poem called Osceola at the Theater, I believe is what it's called, by Street. And it is a fascinating little snapshot of something that I didn't know happened. Osceola, when he was brought to South Carolina when he was captured, and they let him out to go see a play in Charleston, and the poem is about that, and it's just very telling for how the general public viewed Osceola at the time, and it's just very fascinating. It's very visual. You can, like, see all of this happening, and it is just a fascinating poem.
Yeah, that's amazing. Were there any specific themes that stood out to you within some of these pieces of poetry, especially surrounding Osceola before and after his death?
Yeah, he's not a super huge figure until he dies. When he does show up in poetry about the Second Seminole War, it's very brief, and it's usually using him as, like, a leader and a person saying, you know, kill everybody, pardon me.
Wow.
But a lot of it focuses on Seminoles in general, and, like, focusing on either, like, not their perspective, because that would be too generous, but, like, a sort of unsympathetic version of how they're viewed. They're viewed as very savage and very, like, almost bloodthirsty, which is obviously very harmful. And then once Osceola dies, the focus becomes more on himself, and he kind of becomes the figure of a noble savage, which is the term used for, like, a Native American who's seen as, like, spiritually connected to nature and to the world around them, and, like, wise and, you know, a higher being of sorts, which is harmful in its own way. And more insidiously, it feeds into this idea that Native Americans and the Seminoles are a dying race. And Osceola represents that they will eventually go extinct. There's so much poetry that talks about Osceola as, like, the figurehead and, like, the father of like a dying race, and it's very sad to see, like, he becomes this symbolism for, like, this whole movement, essentially.
Wow, that's so interesting. What kinds of impacts do these pieces have on the perception of the Seminoles or just Native Americans in general?
I mean, the earlier poems feed into, like, quite outdated ideas about Native Americans being savage and barbaric, which I don't believe we buy into a lot of those ideas now, but I do think we still see ideas of noble savagery and disappearing Indians nowadays, and we also see an othering of a group happen with, like, many different groups of people, even today, not just with Native Americans. And I think that there's this history to make different and to other a person or a group of people that we don't understand, that are very different from us. And I think that legacy, unfortunately, does still carry in today, which is why it's important that we talk about this and we keep this in the public consciousness, because if we stop talking about it, it allows things to kind of fade away.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're doing incredible work with that. That's amazing. Now, what was the process like of transferring your research into the form of your presentation?
Thankfully, I did have a lot of guidance on this, because we did a poster session as part of our senior seminar. So I've already done kind of a mini research conference. It was great. We had everyone made a poster with their project, They hung it up around the classroom. We could invite people. My mom and my grandparents were there, which was so awesome. A couple professors that I admire so much, Dr. Starks and Dr. Biafra were there. So that was a great experience. Translating it was hard because I felt like there was so much I wanted to say, and not all of it fits on the poster. So I had to be very, very careful about what I picked and chose. And then I had to make sure that, like, when I was talking about it, when I was giving that oral presentation, I could expand upon what I had on the poster.
Wow, that's so cool. What motivated you to present at the undergraduate research conference? Was that something you always intended to do, or something that just came to you?
Research hasn't really ever been my strong suit. I'm an English major, so I don't view myself as having a traditional research path. But Dr. Halleck was very persistent about everyone, not just me, submitting their work to be in the undergraduate research conference. He said that there's so much original work here and it's a great resume booster. And he was really a huge factor in deciding, well, I have a poster, I have an abstract, I might as well submit this and see what happens, because it's kind of cool. Like, I see people posting about their posters at the research conference like last year, and I was like, this looks amazing. I wish I had a research project to present, and now I do.
Yes, you do. Finally, with the conference coming up, how are you feeling about presenting your topic? Are you nervous, excited?
Mostly I'm excited, honestly. This is a little nerve-wracking for me, the cameras and stuff, but without the cameras, I think, it'll be nice to have people come up and ask specific questions like we're doing right now, that I can answer more in depth. And I honestly, I'm really looking forward to it. I have friends too that are presenting. I even have someone else, Mandy Weekly, who's also in the senior literature seminar, who's presenting her own work on Seminoles. So it'll be super interesting. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, we're excited to see you at the conference.
Yes.
Thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Really appreciate it.
thank you, Anna, so much. And now to Sadie with Usfsp Seri.
Hey Bulls, welcome to a special edition of Usfsp Seri. Today we will be answering trivia questions about our show, Seri, while eating spicy wings, or celery in my case. The trivia questions will get harder and harder as the spicy wings get spicier and spicier. We will start at level 1 all the way to the last dab. Thermogeddon! Boom, boom, boom! Our executive producer, Kelly, will be asking the questions today. Hi, Kelly.
Hello.
And I will be joined with Gabe, our floor director. Hello, Gabe.
Hi. That is a great intro for me.
Are you ready to eat spicy food?
I am ready as I'll ever be.
Do you have a good pain tolerance to spice?
I like to think so, but I've been proven wrong many times.
I'm excited to see what happens today. Really, really excited.
Let's go for it.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, Kelly.
I'll take it away. Our first question, what does the acronym SERI stand for?
Me!
Sadie.
Oh no. I'm totally blanking right now.
Me!
Seri stands for oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I'll give you 10 more
Oh,
seconds.
student engagement and research and innovation.
Correct.
Oh,
That was worth it just to
That
see
was-
the pressure.
I did not expect myself to blank like that.
Oh,
I've said it so many times, I don't know how that happened.
God, this is gonna be just the best.
Well, this is pickled garlic sriracha, heat
That-
level 3 out of 10. Good
Sounds
luck.
wonderful.
I get a lot
Look
on
at that,
there.
Look at that.
Get a lot on there.
Okay, easy. Bombs up. Not bad.
Is it good? You can taste the pickled garlic?
Oh, you can really taste the pickle.
You can taste the pickle?
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, easy so far.
Question 2. Alphabetically name the hosts of our show. Gabe.
You're cooked. I'm sorry.
Emily. Lucy, Jasmine, Sadie.
The order is Emily, Jasmine,
Yeah.
Lucy.
What comes first,
Sadie.
J or L?
Don't talk to me, I'm bilingual.
Wosi, eat your hot sauce.
Okay, well, you know. You see what I get?
Yeah,
No one's
give
stopping
me
you.
some hot sauce. I'll suffer with you. Pickled garlic. Okay.
Some food
It's actually really good.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
It's pickly, it's garlicky, and then it's just a little bit spicy. Let's kick things up a notch, though. Next question.
What is the date of the undergraduate research conference? I'm gonna give that one to Gabe.
April 22nd.
Correct.
Boom.
Sadie?
Sweet Scotch bonnet, tropical Amarillo hot sauce,
Tropical.
level 6 out of 10. So we're doubling it. Mmm.
How is it? Is it tropical? Is it taking you to the Caribbean?
Okay, it's good. It's good. It's spicy. It's good, but I'm gonna try some more actually.
There you go.
Is it good?
Power through it. Be a trooper.
It's good. Next question.
What country did Peyton select for her research project? Gabe?
Starts with a B.
Yes.
Not getting a hint.
No.
Bangladesh.
Can I guess?
Yes, please.
Bolivia.
Correct.
Oh! I was gonna say Bolivia! Oh! I look like an idiot.
It's not that bad.
Nothing compared to the other one.
No.
You
it's
feel
not
the
that
spice
bad.
in this
No,
one.
After. The spice, it's like there after. I still feel it, man.
You must be weak sauce.
What did you call me? Dude, we're gonna do the rest of the questions with the spiciest.
Alright, we going. I like it.
Alright, this one is The Last Stab. Thermageddon. Brum, brum, brum.
What is the name of the millipede species that Anne Shaw was studying?
That's all you.
Sadie?
Floridibus paneri.
Yes. Correct. Do you know the nickname of it?
The scrub millipede.
Correct. Gabe?
Take that.
I will. Oh, take that! Like you have an option. Oh, it's not even a 10 out of 10, it's 11 out of 10. Woo!
11 out of 10.
And yes, you heard an oh god from the audience. It's nice knowing you.
Oh, is
Oh, that's spicy.
it? Okay.
That's terrible.
It's bad.
Oh, that's...
Next question while Gabe is suffering.
Oh no.
What is John Johnson's role in the undergraduate research conference?
Gabe.
Isn't he like the director of it, and he's in charge of all of it?
He's the associate director.
Are you
Oh,
gonna,
you're
are you gonna
kidding
give
me.
him that?
I'm gonna give it to him. It's all you, Sadie. Take it away.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh my god.
I need more milk.
Oh. What's happening? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Who was our first guest on Siri?
Oh, crap, what's his name?
Matt.
Matt!
I got it, Matt.
Sadie got it. Gabe?
Oh, I'm regretting everything.
I'm sweating, man. This is tough.
Whew, I want to do this.
I don't want to do it either, man.
I think I'm slowly oh, no, there it is.
It comes back.
Oh.
It comes back and it stays in your mouth.
Oh.
It's still there.
List all the roles of our production team.
I have to try. Executive producer, that's Kelly, big boss. Floor director,
That's me suffering, I'll give you that one.
head of social media, head of photography. The YouTube guy, Chase. Melanie, photography, I already said that. The rest of the social media people, the writers, the researchers, the hosts. Camera people, gaffers. I'm a gaffer, I gaff. Audio. audio, lighting, set designer, Carolina. Who else is in here? Editor Kelly. Wait. Lily.
That's wrong. That doesn't count. No, that's wrong.
I think I got everyone.
You're missing our technical director.
Oh no.
I say this was a great idea.
This was my idea, by the way. Okay. Next question, Kelly. I can't do it.
I think this is the easiest question out of all. Who is the best executive producer ever?
Your plate.
I raised my hand though.
It's Kelly. Beat up, Gabriel.
I like to solidly endorse that she is the best executive producer, but I think it's bad that she just flaunts it like that.
Oh man, this was so much fun.
Hey, Gabe.
This was really fun, Gabe.
Time to indulge.
It was nice knowing you. Eat your last wing, please.
Do you want to know who your winner is?
Not me.
I wonder who it is.
How close was it? I feel like I got 2.
You're not close at all.
Did I get 2?
Yeah.
That's
you
2
did
more
get
than I
2.
thought.
So, Gabe got 2, and our wonderful Sadie got 5 correct.
Thanks, guys. I love being a host. I love this show. I put my whole soul into it.
This whole game is rigged.
I love everyone here.
Yeah.
All right, to end this out, we're going to put all the sauces together and eat them all at the same time.
All right. Salute.
Cheers, not touching it.
Oh my cake.
Oh my god. It's so bad.
This was a terrible, terrible idea.
Like, you don't know. It's in the back of your throat. It's like, you know? Describe how it feels. I don't know.
At least it tastes tropical. Oh, it's not even in the throat. It's just all around the mouth. It's hitting the uvula. Oh.
Well, great job, guys. I'm really proud of you guys.
Oh.
Thanks for tuning in to Usfsp Seri. This was awesome. Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah.
Go Bulls!
Whoa.
You're at Usfsp, right? So tell me, what do you study?
So I'm a double major in English with a concentration in creative writing and political science with a minor in education.
Ooh, you're wearing a lot of hats, girl.
Too many hats, one could argue.
Absolutely. Tell me, what are your post-graduation plans?
Yeah, so I'm going to law school after graduation. I'm really excited. I'm going to Georgetown in DC, which was my top choice, so I'm really excited. Thank you so much.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
And tell me, how did you first get into the research conference? Was this something that you were always wanting to do and planning on, or did you get inspired?
Yeah, so this was the second time I had presented a research paper at a USF conference. And honestly, I had known that it was something I wanted to do because of the first class that I took with it and because of the first class that made me submit a research paper. That first research paper was on Masa Amini and the Iranian government, and I just really, really enjoyed working on that because it was right after her death and there were no research articles on it yet, so I kind of got to be like the first. And I just loved presenting that work so much that I knew that when the opportunity came up, when one of my classes, the deadline for the paper serendipitously aligned with the deadline for the conference, it's like I can't not do this. And my professor also gave me extra credit for submitting to the conference, so it was a win-win.
I love that. And tell me, what was it about particularly these documents and the research that you were into that kind of enlightened you and made you want to present this?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I submitted my abstract to the conference before writing the paper. But I knew that it was something I was going to be interested in because I loved that class so much and I loved the research that I was doing. It was the U.S. Latin American Foreign Relations class with Dr. Riccardi, and I just loved all of the readings and all of the work we were doing. I loved the premise for that paper. I loved the freedom that I would have to choose whatever country I wanted. So I just kind of looked through at all of the FRUS documents, Foreign Relations of the United States documents. If you're not in poli-sci, I'm crazy. But I looked through all the FRUS documents and I was like, this looks really, really cool. And also, this isn't something that like we've learned a lot about. This isn't something I've heard a lot about. And I love getting into those niche areas where like someone might not have researched it yet. So.
Awesome. And one fun thing about your paper is it's titled, "But Daddy, I Love Tin." Tell me, tell me, how did you choose this? I know that this was kind of a humorous route you took with a serious research topic. So are you able to kind of go into depth about, you know, why you chose that and what role something like humor, like those little bits and bouts of humor, play into research topics like this?
Yeah, so the real answer is that I'm completely incapable of being serious about anything ever in my life. And then the other answer is I was going through the Fruce documents and I was outlining my paper, and essentially what Bolivia did to like give everyone kind of a non-poli-sci recap is when the United States came to them with a deal that they didn't want to accept, they basically said, I need a lawyer, but they did it in a way of like, oh my God, have you heard of this amazing United Nations representative? We love him so much. We think he would be really, really good for you to work with him on this contract. So they like were subliminally able to bring in the United Nations to help them, and they were able to make the United States think that it was their idea. But their main problem, like the conflict that was happening, was over their tin exports, because they have some of the greatest tin reserves in the world. Like that was their main export. That was what their economy hinged on. And the United States came in and said, you can't really do that anymore. And it was right around, it was a while after, but Daddy, I Love Him by Taylor Swift had come out. And so that was in my mind. And I was reading these documents and I was like, it's like they're saying, but Daddy, I love tin. And I really wanted my research paper to stand out. You know, I mean, I think especially at these research conferences, because I had been to them before, I knew that you get a pamphlet maybe of like the panelists and the names of their research papers, and people are going to pick what they want to go to based on that name alone. Like no one's going to read the abstract even if it's in there normally unless the title already draws them in. So I really wanted something that would bring people into the essay, that would make people excited or interested in what I was about to present. So I made my whole presentation very humorous. I referenced Ex Machina. Every visual aid I had was some kind of meme or reaction picture. I think I had like one emoticon of like a guy like sweating and like pulling on his collar. So I just think that being humorous about something makes people more interested in it, especially for something like if I came to you and said, do you want to learn about Bolivia's tin exports in the 1960s? You'd probably go, no, not particularly. But if I go, do you want to hear about But Daddy, I Love Tin? You'd go, what are you saying to me right now? So at the very least, it gets people interested.
Absolutely. And you're right. That casual element builds that in. And you know, I have to ask you, like, take me into the process of your research and how this was for you. How did you translate all of this that you learned into a presentation? Because I know there's that aspect of bringing it to the people that, you know, every day don't really get to learn about things like this. Mm-hmm. Tell me more about that and how that's different from your in-class assignments.
Yeah. It, to be completely honest, was so difficult. Largely, maybe not even difficult, just time consuming, because these documents are all primary sources, and I'm going through 54 to 60 of them, ranging from like a few paragraphs to some of them are like 5 to 10 pages, and I'm going through 60 of them for one essay to begin with, since I'm trying to just read through all of them to piece together what happened. And several of them are memos or telegrams, and so I had to figure out why they're not using punctuation on a telegram. I should have known. I didn't know that they didn't do that, so I was so confused the first few telegrams that I read. So it was piecing together and like figuring out, first of all, what they're trying to say in this, and then figuring out how that relates to everything else. and I would like have the Fruce documents on one tab, have my notes on the other, and like translate into my own words like what was happening. And I think that's where the humor started coming out, because to keep myself entertained, I would go, okay, so they said there absolutely is no way that's going to happen, and you can go take that agreement and bring it back to wherever it came from. And that's absolutely not what they said, but it's similar enough that it gave me an idea of what I was working with. So going through all those documents was incredibly time consuming. Translating them was time consuming, and then turning it into the presentation, I was like, I have to have so much fun with this. So translating it into the essay, it really just kind of brought in my English major, I think, where I was just storytelling at that point. I was like, okay, I have every plot line, I just have to bring it together for everyone and explain, okay, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. Like, no one wants to sit there and be like, oh, why exactly did they write this exact telegram on this exact day? Like, no, they want to know what was the bigger picture, what was happening, what is the story that I need to know. So I tried to turn it into storytelling, and I tried to do that in my presentation too. Kind of like I just did with you, where I'm like, oh, they brought in a lawyer. They said, it would be such a great idea if you obviously, because you're the great America, if you brought in a United Nations representative. That would be really great for you, not for us. We're doing this for your best interest. So explaining it like that was, I think, a really compelling way that I was able to tell that story. And I tried to boil everything down as much as I could, but it was a very time-consuming process, kind of taking everything and translating it and then moving it into memes and emojis.
I love that, and I love hearing about that process. Not every day we get to really ask a researcher the insides and the behind the scenes of that, and it was great that you brought in that casual element too. Given that, and given this whole experience with the previous conference, what would you say was the most valuable experience that you gained as a researcher?
Ooh. An addiction to Celsius. No, I'm kidding. I think the most valuable thing I got out of it was knowing that that was something that I could do. Like, I had done things like that, like translating documents, analyzing them, and like kind of contextualizing them in much smaller degrees before. I had never taken 60 documents and all written in language I'm not supposed to understand as a general public, and turned it into something that everyone that I knew and loved could understand really easily. So I think taking that experience and knowing that I was able to put in that time and that it was something that I really enjoyed. Like, it's a little bit psychotic. It's a lot of bit psychotic, but I really enjoyed like sitting there and trying to piece things together and like figuring out what happened, and then also being able to talk to people about it and they didn't know what I was talking about yet, and I was able to explain it to them. So I think the most valuable thing that I took away as a researcher was knowing that that was something that I could do and knowing how cool it is to be able to explain a story in a few words after researching it yourself. Like, I didn't read an article and like I'm using someone else's words. I like went into these documents and figured out what was happening for myself, and now like I get to be the transmuter of that story.
Awesome. And going forward, what advice would you give future researchers that want to present at the undergraduate research conference?
Yeah, I would say work as hard as you can on your paper. Make sure it satisfies you first and foremost before anything else, because I think the most important thing is if it brings you joy. I think we focus a lot on how the paper will fit with the conference's ideals or how the conference might view your research topic or something, but the most important thing is that you feel passionate about what you're doing and that what you're presenting is something that you're proud of. And I genuinely think that if you're passionate about it and you have worked hard enough on it that you feel proud of what you're about to show them, I don't think there's any way that you could possibly go wrong.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Pleasure.
That's all the questions that we have today. And thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you, Peyton, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll see you in the next segment of Seri. Thank you. Bye-bye. You're a senior at US.
That's all we have for you today. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Seri.
Remember, the Undergraduate Research Conference is fast approaching on April 22nd.
Make sure to subscribe and follow, and we'll see you at the conference.
Until next time,
Go Bulls!